Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Cumley here, and tonight I'm happy to bring you a little bit of an impromptu kind of something I randomly decided to do early in the day. Replay, review. We're just gonna be taking a look at some different games, and just taking a look at them, see what we can get out of them. Nothing too in depth, nothing too elaborate tonight. Just kind of taking a look. And tonight we're starting right off the bat with a look at Kroipots on Magebane. And he said that he farmed pretty well, and is more interested in things like item choices, strategic decisions, and all of that kind of fun stuff. Now, pretty good lane, Torture or Magebane, I'm pretty okay with that kind of combination. Um, Magebane not super privy to getting early kills, just because of the nature of him kind of not really having a nuke or anything like that. But certainly if the other people get caught out of position, you are definitely able to land a kill or two. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn it down just because it's too loud for me. Oh, I guess I could just turn my headphones down, huh? If I were a smart man. Which I'm not. You really have to kind of catch them out of position and use your body blocking, use your blink to maximum effect to really be able to get anything done on him. But Torture is pretty good at putting on a lot of burst damage. He's pretty good at catching people out in those positions as well, and so it should be a pretty good combination. Now, what I'd really like to see, and what you're seeing a lot lately, is you see a lane like this with the Magebane and the Torturer, and then they also have somebody in here in the jungle like Parasite. Or Ophelia, something that's able to pop out and really get a gank. Because imagine if you had a Parasite right now who had this Minotaur. He could really come out and he could kill this Demented Shaman with the Magebane and Torturer, almost guaranteed. And that's kind of why you've seen the metagame really shift away from Tri-Lanes. It's just because Tri-Lanes are so good, but having that, level advantage and that ganking advantage is so much better. Alright, that is frightening little to do with Magebane, but that's okay, because we're just rambling on tonight. You can see he's getting harassed pretty hard. Demented Shaman a very good kind of harass. Very good auto attacks. Not as good as they used to be. I think that part of the reason why it's so much harder to play carry Demented Shaman these days is one, because everybody and their mother can farm as well as he could, and that was one of his big advantages. But also just because his auto attack got nerfed. A little bit of a shame. I really like Demented Shaman. I'm getting Skype messages all over the place. I'm gonna pop this up. But yeah, it's really going to be important. One of the things I'm really going to be looking for Kroipots is, are there any times in this game where he's not farming where he could be? See, right there, he gets caught a little bit out of position on this Demented Shaman, and he's going to be able to get the bloodless kill. And that's how you get kills on that Magebane. You have to be able to get them out of position, and then use that blink as the method with which you get the kills. Right? Because you can relocate yourself so quickly, and you can get in those positions so well. So really good job by him, but now he's in a little bit of awkward position. You see he finally does blink ahead. And this is kind of the point where he's low on health, he's low on regen, and so what is he going to do from here? Let's see, where's his goal? The only thing I don't like about the new UI is that it's very hard for me to glance and know how much gold everybody has. In the old one, it was on the scoreboard, I think? It's been a while, but I feel like that is something that was true. And now I have to look all the way up here. Like, this is such a weird... My eye doesn't go here ever, unless I'm looking at items or something specifically. I want to look right here. That's okay. It's another tangent. But yeah, he's clearly looking to try to get a life tube. Ideally, Torture would have just fucking health bought him. I'm gonna assume that Mr. Time to Killy, or is that Time to Kill I, like suicide? That's depressing. I'm gonna go with Killy. Should definitely be health potting. He's got a mana battery as well as 3 runes play, as well as a health pot. I think he probably would have been okay on the regen. But Magebane heal up at some point? I'm not even paying attention. I've had like half a drink and I'm already not paying attention to anything. So we're gonna go ahead and speed up this little early farming phase. Again, he's farming really well. He got that bloodless kill. You can see again taking advantage of positioning. You have to be a little bit careful doing that with Demented Shaman, right? Because sometimes you think he's out of position and really he's just kind of setting you up for a giant heal bomb that makes you look like kind of like an asshole. But he's farming pretty well. He's only got 11, 12 creep kills, but 7 denies. It's not too bad. Torture is doing a pretty good job of trying to not take him. Now, if Torture were smart, they probably would have actually counterpassed. Oh, he did fire himself potion. Okay, good. Ideally, like, he wouldn't have wanted to do that, but also you would have wanted Torturer to counter this and stack the fuck out of it and pull it, because when you have something like a hard carry, that's just so important. You get as much farm as possible. And one thing you can see is that the base regen is also pretty awesome on Melees, or with all the changes they did. We're seeing Scout is farming as well. You know, Scout's kind of keeping up there as well. He's 19 and 3. He doesn't have that kill, obviously, but he doesn't have a death either. And he's just kind of plugging away. Let's just go ahead and take a quick look at the rest of the game. We have a Deadward punching the fuck out of a Devourer. I have impeccable timing. And then we have a Ra Valkyrie. Oh, that is such a brutal lane. You can clear waves so early on that combination. But I'm against an Emerald Warren while they have a time struggling. Now, see, that's the thing. The Legion team did actually have a jungler, but it doesn't seem like they're playing too aggressively with the jungler. I don't like... Emerald Warren's so good. I don't like having a solo on bot and then having a jungler. I understand the reasoning behind it, right? Because you want the jungler to be able to support the one that's solo, but, you know, early on, most junglers can't actually do that much. And so dollar for dollar, for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my jungler in their jungle, if I can at all do it, have my 2 here, and then try to get kills. You know, if you're able to get the creep waves to something like this, your jungler can come through right here and get a kill. But and then what the jungler does is just work their way down. You know, if you can't get a kill up here and you're on the Legion jungler, you can come right here and you can get a kill right here. Especially with the tree changes. I don't know if you guys remember, the trees actually used to come out a long way here. Like the trees came out to here. Like they were saying, oh, I can do this. Oh my god, I almost forgot about my little friend. But no, the trees were like absurd. They were like out to here or something. And it was no, they weren't. What am I talking about? It's the opposite direction. They were like out to here. I'm so retarded. And that's why you couldn't gank, was because they would fucking see you. But now you can be sneaky. So action back here on top again. You know, this is a very kind of farming oriented hero. The way I like to play Mage Bane, and again, I'm just gonna play a game called How Many Tangents Can Comely Do in One Cast, because it's just a tangent kind of evening. I like to put Mage Bane mid, and then I just go Helm of the Black Legion into Basher, right? Because you get Helm of the Black Legion and then you never die to ganks. Like, I don't even get boots. Like, I just go Helm of the Black Legion. And the other team always, for whatever reason, no matter what level I'm playing at, they get scared as fuck when I get a Helm of the Black Legion, and they all come mid. And when they all come mid, I just let my team free farm the side lanes, and then they push the mid tower and they kill it. And they're like, yeah, we held that guy down. And then I just free farm mid, because, you know, they can't go that far past river anymore. And then I get a Basher, and I get Steel Boots, and then I gank the shit out of everybody. I play like a hard ganker at that point. It's really fun. But it sucks because it's slow, obviously, because you have to get a Helm of Black Legion and a Basher. So a lot of times your team just fucking... the game's over before you fucking get it. Such as Han, such as Han. But yeah, the whole jungler thing. I don't like putting a jungler here and then a solo here. I mean, you know, once your jungler is something like, you know, level 4 or level 5, it becomes much more viable to do things like that. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of doing replay shit. I can jump around and not really give a fuck, right? I rewound it, Croypots. I rewound it. Currently have Okamli playing. I should play... I don't know. I might end up uploading in the summer, so I should probably not have music playing. Aww, Emerald Warren too good. If you don't like that song, we're not friends. What am I doing? I don't know anymore. I'm so lost. Alright, here we go. So Ra, let's see what's Ra doing. Ra is one of my favorite heroes right now, guys. I don't know if you know this. It's like impossible to not get 400 plus GPM on Ra, unless like your team is an abysmal early game. Then you're like, oh, I only had like 380 GPM this game. This sucks. I'm telling you, here I'm gonna give you the tip. I'm gonna give you the tip for Ra. Don't buy boots. You don't need boots. Path gives you all the speed you need early game. Just get finished Helm of the Black Legion, and don't get the Beast Heart. Like, don't worry about finishing Helm of the Black Legion. Get all the regen items for a Shaman as well. So you get the Helm of the Victim, the trinkets, and all that. Because you don't want more health. It just makes your shit cost more. You have your ult. You're fine. And then you get that, and then you finish those items, and you can clear creep waves like all day. And then you farm Boots of Travel. You farm Post Haste, and you just instantly get 500 GPM for free. I think my average GPM on Comely is like 480 on Raw, and on my other account, Butterfly, it's like 540 or something absurd. Raw is so good. Raw is so good. So now I Helm of the Black Legion again. You know, so fucking handsome on Magebane. As long as Magebane doesn't die, he's usually pretty good in team fights. That's such a retarded thing to point out. As long as he doesn't die, he's good. But if he dies, he's less than good. I like that stunning analysis. Scout just kind of chilling. Scout really should be farming something. I don't know how he's planning on defending this tower. He's not getting much experience from the couple of creeps that are dying here. But, you know, the team is doing a really good job. They know they have a very good early push team. They have Ra, they have Valkyrie, they have Torturer. But then shit like this happens. And I just feel bad for them. Yeah, Magebane has to be really careful using his Blink to chase like that, especially when he knew there were 5. He's probably going to get away here again, because early game Helm of the Black Legion with a Blink, it's so fucking hard to kill. You really have to focus and chain your CCs in order to get a kill on a Magebane that early with Helm of the Black Legion. And they're going right into Steam Boots. Now, I'm going to be interested to see if he splits the Helm of the Black Legion and makes like a Rune Dax, or if he's just going Helm of the Black Legion and then building another Sustainer on top of it. I might shy away from that. I don't know. I just don't like Helm into Rune Dax. I don't like the flow of that item build. It feels very clunky to me, because if I'm going Rune Dax, I'm probably not getting Steam Boots before it. I'm probably not getting shit before it, because I really, really, really want to farm that. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's slow this down and let's take a look at this team fight. No, we don't need to go at half. So right off the bat, look at the situation we're in right now. Scout got hit by a 5-second arrow. Now, Little 10 Scout isn't actually that good in the team fight when all he has is a Sustainer. If he had something like a Rune Dax Shieldbreaker, that's great. That's great. That doesn't actually take too much out of the fight for them. They have a Tempest with a Portal Key up. You know, Tempest is doing a good job of getting his farm up. Emerald Warden is still alive. She doesn't have shit for items, but she's Emerald Warden, so she's like a 40-second silence. We have a Deadwood with his ult up in the front, as well as a level 6 Demented Shaman. He's got Steam Boots, he's got him set to Int, he's only got 680 HP. Not that great. So this is a pretty squishy little area right here, but we have the wild card of the Tempest over here. And then up here on top for them, we have the Devourer in a really nice position to try to get a hook on somebody, right? He's about to actually lose the angle on the Demented Shaman because Ra is about to run right in front of him. But he has a really good angle here on Deadwood. He has a possible angle on the Scout if the Deadwood runs past him. He can hook him. And then hopefully, ideally, if I'm Devourer, I'm going to stay back. I'm probably going to be somewhere over here in the trees. Now I'm just abusing my line privileges when I can just do that. I would probably try to eat through the tree or something so that I'm able to actually hook the Tempest that's inevitably going to come. Maybe they don't even know that. No, they absolutely know that. Tempest is right there. There's a button, and I always forget what the button is, that lets you see things from their perspective. And I'm going to figure out what that button is right now. Let's see here. Spectator... Player POV is R. Alright, so if we hold R, bam, now we're Devourer. We can't even zoom out. It's legitimately like restricted as much as it is. Oh, so they actually don't see Tempest. Oh, that's interesting. Do they see? When do they see Tempest? Okay, so they see Tempest for about half a fucking second before he jumps in and does what's going to be a pretty brutal ultimate here. So look, they're clumping together so hard. Tempest has a very nice ultimate. Magebane's like, should I go in? No, maybe I should. Oh, I'm gonna mini stun him. Oh, his ultimate has a mini stun on it. Not too bad. Alright, so that's awkward. My screen is vibrating quite furiously. Let's take another look at where we're at right now. Back up just a tiny bit. So we have the ultimate, we have the interrupt. And now right here, we have Ra in the middle of fucking everything. Now, I don't like early team fights on Ra. I really try to avoid shit like this whenever I can. Now, he probably didn't have a choice too much at this point because the team really kind of needed him there. But you use so much of your HP just fucking trying to hurt people that you are so low. I mean, look, they really haven't done too much to him yet. And he's already almost dead. He has his ultimate up, which is good, but, you know. Now, hopefully Torturer is going to turn around here and cause some chaos. Yep, and there you go. Devo hitting a decent hook on that Deadwood, and Magebane comes in and cleans up, and they're doing a really nice team fight here. A lot of people are getting hit by these Amun-Ra stuns that probably shouldn't be hitting. So very good job by them. Scout does get away. Nobody has dust or anything like that, which is unfortunate. But you can see that just the sheer amount of AoE and shit that they have, right, was so beneficial because, yeah, like 4 of them got caught in the Tempest stun, but 1, Magebane got him out of it very quickly, and 2, they had kind of clumped up around their Tempest ult to try to do as much damage to them as possible, and that ended up being a little bit of their downfall. So if we take a look at the GPMs right now, I can see the Humble team definitely has a solid advantage, right? You know, they have 4 people sitting at 250 or higher, compared to the Legion team, which only has 2, and that's pretty much their cap. Whereas everybody else is doing a little bit higher. We do see Gorbot's doing a good job of getting the tower last hit. You know, every little bit you can do to increase your farm is always, always, always worth it. Somebody there. I don't give a shit. Orange. So I guess this poor Demented Shaman, who doesn't like to take his Steam Boots off of Int, because he really likes hitting very slightly harder in team fights, I guess. We're getting pretty hardcore caught out here. Valkyrie not going to be able to get a stun, and the Hellboy team is just going to kind of run out of here. Probably a good choice. They didn't really have mana. They didn't really have anything up. So I mean, the question is kind of why are you still fucking around? You know, kill the tower. Get the fuck out. They want to get a kill on Demented Shaman. That's great. Just do it while you're getting the fuck out. You can't really afford to hang around there. And see, there's still that kind of gives the Legion team a little bit of time to catch up. You know, if the Legion team is smart, they can be doing some warding and counter warding right here while they know that they control this, because right now they control this entire area of the map. Oh, I can't draw on the map with my line. I can't draw on the map with my line, guys. But they control their jungle, basically, right? They control their jungle because they know that the Hellboy team had to leave, that they were low on mana, they were low on cooldown. And so if you are a support, that is such a great timing for you to go ahead and do all that warding and counter warding. Sometimes you'll hear support saying, you know, I want to ward more, but I always die. I'm always dying. You have to take advantage of those situations when they come up. And see, now Magebane's doing a good job, right? He's near his team where his team was kind of dicking around, but he didn't stop farming. He just kind of kept up the farm, which is so important. Whenever you're playing one of these hard carry, ricing, bullshit kind of heroes, it does look like he is going to go for the Runed Axe after the Helm of the Black Legion. Now, he's sitting at about 355 GPM. And there's not really a reason that would go down at all, right? That's always going to go up as the game goes on. I don't know if he needs a Runed Axe. I kind of do Helm of the Black Legion or a Runed Axe. You could get Helm of the Black Legion, split it up, and take the Life Tube, but yeah, you can get it to keep up with Scout, but you're gonna keep up with Scout anyway, just because you're Magebane. You can get around quicker than him. You can blink. You can use that for your farm. Now, maybe you should have just gotten the Runed Axe instead of the Helm of the Black Legion. You know, there are other options. I get a really nice Tempest Assault right there. It catches 40 people, but again, they really don't have the follow-up for it. You know, Emerald Warden, not a big AoE hero. Scout, until he has Runed Axe and farm, not a big AoE hero. Demented Shaman, if they don't have creeps, not a big AoE hero. They don't have a lot of things that are going to be following up that Tempest stun, you know? So he's doing a good job. He's kind of playing on the edge of the fight like he needs to be. How the fuck you're all pulled me in? I'll never know. I'll never know. I could rewind for you, Corey Potts, if you'd like me to show you how fat your hero is. But the good thing is that, yes, of course, you know, Runed Axe, not a bad pickup by any means. Don't get me wrong. You know, even in a situation like this, probably still a good pickup. It gives you nice cheap damage. Actually, since it's been buffed, the damage was increased a little bit on the Runed Axe, so it's probably even more worth it now. So I'm kind of questioning if maybe I'm just wrong on that. Huh. It's one of the things I'm going to throw around. I don't play hard carries much anymore. I don't play things like Magebane, Madman, Dark Lady. They seem very slow. Anything that I want to get a Runed Axe on, I generally just don't play anymore, just because I feel like the Runed Axe is like me farming an item so that I can farm items, where there's so many other heroes that they just fucking farm whatever they want, and then they're done. Really good job hitting those squishy targets, doing a good job in the team fight. Got caught out, got hit by the Deadwood root, you know. If they're able to focus you down. So actually, let's back up. Let's back up and talk about if we could have avoided that death or not. Because every little decision can play a big part. Miss Pudding sounds fucking terrifying in slow motion. Oh my god, Miss Pudding. Alright, so let's look right here. Now, I'm going to talk for Corey Potts here. Because, you know, me and him are bros. He wants to kill Demented Shaman, and then he's going to probably try to get out and reform. Now, his team is extraordinarily low. right? Look at how low his team is right now. We have Valkyrie almost dead. Devourer has a lot of HP, but he's getting pretty low as well. We have a Torturer in a very bad spot. He's got lots of Legion players surrounding him, and we have a Ra in a very good position with a lot of HP and all that good stuff. But unfortunately, at the top side, if we make a little zone here, we'll include this. This is kind of one of the sub battles that is going on. Now, of course, they're all fighting, they're all interacting, but this is one of the sub battles that is going on. Magebane's in a pretty bad position right here, right? If you look at it like that, he's in a pretty bad position. Now, if you look at something like this little sub fight, now the Hellbourne team has the advantage in this position, I would say clearly, right? Because I'm pointing at my screen, you can't fucking see it. Torture is really going to be able to do a lot of damage here. The Raw AoE is going to be able to do a lot of damage here. And hopefully, if the Hellbourne team focuses down there, they're going to be able to kill both of them. Torture not casting anything of value there. Torture. I'm doing a shrug. You can't see it, but I'm doing a shrug. I should turn my webcam on for this shit. So yeah, it was probably avoidable if we kept down, if we were swooping a little bit more towards the bottom, rather than sitting up there on the top in the danger zone. I'm really hoping Emerald Warden dies here. Emerald Warden deaths make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Really do. So, unfortunately, dying in Magebane, really bad, right? Like, that's one of the biggest things that's going to slow down your farm. And you see that team fight, Scout staying alive, 4 of the other team dying, really big boost to the GPM, right? Scout has his Runed Axe, he's going to be farming like a beast. And now, if we had done something other than Runed Axe, would we have done better in that fight? Because, Runed Axe is a good item for farming, but it's not really a great team fight item. It kind of is for Scout, just because sometimes you can very quickly burst down several heroes, especially if something like a Tempest Assault is coming beforehand. I got off to cough because I respect you guys so much. Swart in the chat. Hello. Hi! I'll do whatever you tell me to say, sir. If you want me to say hi, I will say hi to you. But what would the equivalent have been? Right, so we look at something that's like 4,100 damage. So we could have had something like my favorite little item on him, which is the Brutalizer, the Basher, the Cranium Basher. And we also could have had maybe something like a Mighty Blade, working towards a Shrunken Head. Right, I don't know if I'd even get a Shrunken Head against them. No. Almost certainly not. Physical. But something, working towards something else. And Runed Axe is not a cheap item. You get that cleave, you get 60 damage. You don't need the health regeneration on Magebane, and you probably don't need the mana regeneration either. You're not casting that much shit on Magebane. It's good to be able to blink around and get all that done, but I don't really think you need a Runed Axe for that. And so I'm always trying to avoid, in things like item builds, I'm always trying to avoid farming items, because I would always rather have hero killing items. That's just the kind of player that I am in general. Except for Ra, because, Ra's gonna just stack the shit out of the health regen. But, so I'm always looking to cut out things like Runed Axe. And that's why, like, Madman, almost 95% of the time, I'd rather get a Nullstone on him. Because I don't think you really need the Runed Axe. You just get a fucking Nullstone and you can farm all day with your spells. But Magebane really does not have that kind of equivalent. So right now we do see the Hellbourne team is getting picked off a little bit. Let's go ahead and speed it back up. The Legion team is grouping up. They're kind of doing what they need to do, which is trying to pick players off, trying to stay aggressive, trying to stay on the offensive. They have heroes that are pretty good late game, but they also have heroes that fall off a little bit. Demented Shaman falls off a little bit. His ultimate is always going to be fantastic, but he's not farming well this game. And you don't want him to just keep getting picked off. Emerald Warden requires a retarded amount of farm. Well, you can debate me all day if you want about Runed Axe. I'm not saying that Runed Axe is that I never buy a Runed Axe. I'm not saying that if I'm playing Magebane I don't ever get Runed Axe. I'm just saying that I would prefer to get something else if I can avoid it. If I think I can get the farm through ganking, if I can get the farm through, quickly killing ancients and moving around and stealing their creeps and things like that, I would rather do that There are some times where you kind of have to get a Rundax, and I'm not really convinced that this isn't one of the games where you just kind of had to get a Rundax to keep up with farm. Again, it's good for killing things like the Tempest creeps as well, right? It has its uses. It doesn't do much for me besides let me farm and make me hit a little bit harder, especially on something like Mageman. I will do that, Dan. I will skip the shit out of the beginning of that replay. So we're seeing a little bit of a war here, right, between the Mage Bane and the Scout. Another reason, like if I were in this game, I wouldn't necessarily want a Rundax, is because Ra should be farming the fuck out of everything. Ra should easily have 100 or 200 higher GPM at this point in the game. Going in 30 minutes in the game, there's no reason for you to be so low on farm. Yeah, he didn't get his shamans. He doesn't have the regen he needs to spam his shit. All he did was he built up his max HP. He got Steam Boots, which are awful on Ra. Really, really awful. I hate Steam Boots on Ra so much, guys. And I hate this early access to Malphite. Your spells cost a portion of your HP, so keep your HP fucking low as you can. Now, eventually you want to regen, and it just makes you really bulky and beefy. But it makes your spells more expensive. But at that point, you generally don't give a shit because you have so much regen. Don't boost your HP early on Ra. Please don't. Always get Boots of Travel. Always get Boots of Travel on Ra. Forever. Until your deathbed. I don't care if they change them. I don't care if they make Boots of Travel not work on Ra anymore. I'm still gonna fucking buy them. Oh, Magebane died. Oh, he's farming the Ancients and Invisible Ra. Or Invisible Deadwood. There's only so much you can do in a situation like that. Got caught out, couldn't blink, couldn't get his blink off. Where did I blink? You didn't blink anywhere, sir. You were stuck in roots. Yeah, Boots of Travel, post haste, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys, I never played Dota. Like, I've never played a game of Dota 1. But I started using Dota terms because some of them are just better, right? Like Vlad's. Oh, I built a Vlad's over a fucking. What is it called? Oh my god, I don't even know what it's called in Han. Abyssal Skull? I totally knew that. BKB, right? BKB, so much better than Shrunken Head. I think usually I say Shrunken Head if I'm using the long form. And then I just say BKB if I want people to know what the fuck I'm talking about. Monkey King Bar? I don't know why that one is good, but it just sounds good. I mean, there are exceptions. I still call Dagon Codex when I'm playing Dota 2. Which, if any of you got into the Dota 2 beta, congratulations. Yeah, MKB. It's got a nice, I got an MKB, guys. And now we're seeing going right into a wing bow, a little wingling bow. Now, obviously, this is, kind of to counter that scout. But, I don't know, that's interesting. I mean, I think he kind of just needs more survivability at this point. It sounds like a Trip Dragon multi, it does. Because we saw when he got picked off by that Deadwood. That was only Deadwood and, who else was it? I don't know, somebody else. And that was enough to kind of kill him really quickly, and that's really unfortunate, because Magebane just needs to never fucking die. And so, yeah, Wingbow is kind of a defensive item, but I think you just kind of need effective HP at this point. Or not effective HP, actual HP. It's kind of a weird thing to say, because effective HP should be the same thing, should be the thing you're looking for. So you take that dodge chance into account, but I don't like the bursty kind of dodge. Again, I don't know if they have any detection yet for the scout. Oh my god. We pull in a scout. I think we were going for the Tempest there. I think what happened was we wanted to pull in the Tempest and not let him get his shit off, and that really didn't work out. I'm gonna find out what MMR this is for you. Even that is slow, so it's like mid upper 1700s. Why is this gets slow if you turn down your replay speed? Oh, that's adorable. So like if we, oops. Oh, that didn't work. I'm so easily amused. Alright. Alright, so I think what was happening here is we hit an arrow on the Tempest, and we wanted to hook and kill the Tempest. before they have the opportunity to do anything. Now I'm gonna pretend the scout did that intentionally because that was a pretty baller move. And then they all get hit. We have Brown really, really fucking far away with a Shroud. Because why not? Yeah, I think you really built against the scout a little bit too much. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's nasty. And scout just ulting in the tower. Because why not? Because he really wants to die. When you're playing something like scout, it's almost certainly not worth it to kill an underfarm. Well, not underfarm, but well, yeah, let's call it an underfarm. I'm gonna call it 260 GPM Valkyrie underfarmed. Killing an underfarmed Valkyrie is probably not worth the death at that point. Just run away. Yeah. There's a Boundai here. Torture. Gonna swap his Mire Totem for it. Why did they have a Boundai? Or did somebody on the Hellborn team have it? I don't know. Somebody somewhere had a Boundai. And again, we're seeing really, really slow farm. We're seeing two people going for a Behemoth start on this team. You know, raw at 235 GPM. I mean, just look at all these creep waves that should be pushed. Scout head by. Okay, why not? It's painful to me to see somebody farming so little on something like a raw. Who now has a eye, which is good. Did you take your Minor Totem back, sir? I don't know what happened to Minor Totem. It's gone forever. The world will never know. Oh, Torture, you're playing a dangerous game, sir. Alright, so let's go ahead. We're going to speed this up even more at this point. We're just going to kind of look at some more of the broad kind of strokes of where the game is going. Someone is getting picked off, we don't care. So we have the finished Wingbow. We're hitting for about 230. We're hitting with the Mana Burn. More than that. You would think I would know offhand, so it's like 60 damage. So about 300 damage. But if we just get picked off before we can blink like this, it doesn't matter, you know? Their team is very physical heavy, but the Wingbow is just so bursty. You can't count on that to let you survive. And so I think a big reason is, you know, getting picked off over here and getting picked off over here. You're just sinking so much GPM. Now, if we look at it, the GPM from Rundax, right, hasn't made our GPM go up very much at all. We were at something like, what was it, like 340, I think it was. And we wanted to get the Rundax to increase the farm, but because of the deaths, because of the time we spent having to do other shit and dealing with the team farming, because there's a huge team fight going down bot that we don't give a shit about, we haven't been able to actually raise our GPM at all, which is really unfortunate, which is really, really important. If you're investing in something, and one of its big selling points is it lets you farm faster, you really have to use it that way. Now, you could say that, well, his farm would be a lot lower if he hadn't gotten it, right? Because he's not able to do things like clear those creep camps as fast. But a lot of these times, if he had been able to get a blink off, if he had been able to have that HP, just to be able to live long enough, it would have been a different story. So we do have the Hellborn team all getting hit by a very painful Tempest Ultimate. There's not too much you can do if your team is jerking off like that. And so now we can say, like, you know, is it the rest of the Hellborn team fault for doing things like that, for consistently walking into Tempest Ults and grouping up for it like that? Is there anything that Magebane could have done to win this game? And it's hard to say. I think probably. I think that if we hadn't died, I think that if we had you know, 60 or 70 more GPM, we had to have a little bit of different item choices. If we'd been able to prevent things like these team fights and the scout getting farmed like that, we might have been able to. Maybe not. Right? Maybe not. Maybe they just could not have won this game. And you're going to find that with a lot of games. You know, there's a lot of games where I'm something like 5-3-2. I'm like, oh, I played awful. And I look at my team, and they're like 0-6-0 and like 0-5-1 and like all that shit. And I'm just like, oh, I couldn't have won this game. But that's not an excuse, right? We can't just say, oh, I must have played fine. It's my team's fault. Because, you know, maybe if I had played better, my team wouldn't have ended up like that. Maybe I should have ganked more. Maybe I should have taken over one of their lanes. Maybe I should have given them more support. I always, always, always try to figure out what I personally could have done, anything that I have control of. Did I communicate with my team? Maybe all they needed to hear was, don't go back to your lane, go gank top. Right? And they might not listen to me. If they don't listen to me, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to move on. But maybe they listen. Maybe they go, and maybe they do better. Maybe I wasn't communicating well. Always trying to figure out what you could have done. But don't beat yourself up if your team doesn't listen to you, because you're gonna do what they're gonna do. And so we do have an Axe to the Malphite now, which I'm okay with. Um, going for thinking of Haunterm, Symbol of Rage. I got it. Don't worry about it. That's a good one too. Satanic. But it could be a heart. I hope it's not a heart. Heart wouldn't be a really good pickup. Huh. It is gonna be a BQ heart. I mean, see, at that point, like, okay, I'm gonna pause it for a moment. Let's talk. If eventually the build that I wanted to have was a Rundax, a Wingbow, and a Behemoth's Heart, the Helm of Black Legion has a component for the Rundax and has a component for the Behemoth's Heart, and you could split it. And that would have made you a little bit squishier for a little bit, but it probably would have been worth the extra 1900 gold that you would get from it to not have to buy those again. You can use kind of that Helm of Black Legion to maybe protect you a little bit while you're farming your Rundax or something, but I mean, to have so much overlap and be so kind of defensive in our item builds like that is a little bit questionable. I love you, Croypots, but just painful team fights. Painful team fights. The experience per minute. Oh, yeah, look at this. 630. He's got a Basher. He's got a Shrunken Head. He's got a fucking Frostburn. We do see Magebane is doing a good job of catching up in farm to him, but I mean, the experience and the things like just the team fight counts being 16, 4, and 12 versus 9, 7, and 21. Things like that, they make a big difference. Having 80 EXP per minute higher matters. Really being able to have that burst in the team fight matters quite a bit. For Magebane. This is an extraordinarily long game as well. I mean, that's kind of what happens. I don't know if you guys have played Dota 2, but these are the kind of games that happen very consistently where you have to be like an anti-mage that's just fucking farming and like you're clearly going to fucking win the game and it's just still going on. Oh, token of life. I didn't even see the Carnivore kill. I'm not really paying that much attention. They do manage to get a kill on the scout. Now this is a pretty big opportunity for them, right? They have a minute and a half of scout just being fucking dead. Right? I would really like to be seeing Magebane. No, stop farming. Just fucking push. Token does not make you invincible. Words of wisdom from Croypots. Scout's back up now. He bought back. Because why not, right? He's got like infinite gold. He does a lot of punishment. Now, you have to be really carefully looking for things like that when they have a hard carry. Watch those buybacks. You gotta get the fuck out of there. And so we see Magebane is pretty fucking tanky right now. But it doesn't really matter because if everybody else on their team dies, you still fucking die. You still lose. This is essentially going to be GG, I imagine. I don't think anything too exciting happens. We see a Shrunken Head picked up. Again, another really defensive item. Probably not the best Shrunken Head team. I mean, you can get the silence off yourself. You can get the stun off yourself. That's about it. You can stop the damage from the Scout ult if you really need to. Does this go above or below the portraits? Below the portraits. You guys ever seen the movie Cube? It's like a not very good horror film. It's okay for what it is. It's like a low budget. I don't know what it says. I feel like the game ended. Yep. Alright, so, just keep in mind, maybe weren't the best item choices. Especially with things like, the Behemoth's Heart and the Shrunken Head at that point. There's only so much you can do. And so that's how you can have 400 GPM. You can be doing moderately well, but all those deaths really set you back a lot more than they might seem, especially at first. Take your... I did. I fucking checked the measures like 4 times. I don't have an IM anymore. Oh my god, I hate you. I hate you. Bubble with the number 1 next to it. Alright, let's find another game to play. To launch. It's fine. I'll watch the Mag game. Magmus, I don't know if you guys know this. It's one of my fucking specialties. Oh my god. My Magmus? People write books about my Magmus. Unless I'm drunk. Then my Magmus is awful. Awful. But I play it anyway. Is this a fucking... Oh my god. Monkey King. Jesus Christ. Alright, yeah, we can watch this. We can watch this. We'll probably, it's probably gonna be a little bit of a stomp from the Hellboy team. Looks like Monkey King just kind of rolls around and kills everybody. But, we can still probably get some educational value out of it. We can look at the, 1 minute to 14 is full of whiffs. Good. So we'll analyze all your whiffs then, sir. I don't know if you knew what you were getting into. Maybe we'll look at Kermic's stomps. Oops, that's too far. Let's get anybody. No, somebody already died. Jesus Christ. All right, where's our little Magnus? Where's Dota 2? Are you in beta yet? I haven't been in beta forever. So we will speed it up. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's just. Alright, so we're looking at like a 1600 level game here. And you know how I can tell that is true? It's because we have a Chronos Dampier lane going against a Corrupted Disciple Magnus lane. Which, as you might imagine, is a little bit more obscure than normal. And then we have a Zephyr going against a Monkey King mid. Which, yeah, alright, I'll buy that one. And then we have a Voodoo Jester Ra, which sounds like a ridiculous length. Because the Voodoo stun length, I don't know if you know the length of his stun, but his stun range is actually this long. That's how far he can throw his stun from. Against a Soul Reaper Scout game. Scout apparently a popular pick. They're not even playing female Scout. Like, at least... He's gonna get this by walking, isn't he? Oh, Ra. No, he still gets it. Will they get the counter kill? No, they're not going to be able to actually capitalize on the opportunity. Scout having to run back to his tower. It's my breaky style casting voice. Not my breaking impression voice. My breaky style casting voice. Oh, this Scout is getting ravaged. Nope. Sorry, we're looking at Magnus. Apparently. But at what cost? I was like, hey, I should put my webcam on during this, and I was like, I haven't shaved in like 3 days because I just moved. I feel like I probably look like Breaky. I don't want that kind of impression. Also, for those of you that are wondering, I have never caused a team to lose a sponsorship ever in anything. I have a perfect track record. So one of the things that the only reason I don't play Magnus more is that the early game is so fucking brutal. It's not too soon, Croy Pots. Oh man, I was gonna make like a propaganda video, like a fucking political attack ad on Hodcast, but I was like, nah, that's mean. I hate early game Magnus. Oh, I hate it so much. Generally, I try to actually like play with another support so that I can farm a bottle and Striders really quickly. Alright, that was a pretty good sound. Let's take a look at that sound. So you can see that they're pretty low. Again, you know, it's a pretty awful lane. Neither of them have any regen whatsoever. They've already used their 3 Runes of Blight. They both went the classic double hatchet melee lane, which is absolutely dominating in killing creeps with auto attacks. But yeah, they just don't have any of that regen. Unfortunately, Corrupted Disciple doesn't have any mana to do another Electric Tide here. That would actually be really good. Yeah, really good positioning on that ultimate. So we're going right here. We're just barely catching the edge of him, and then ulting, and then stunning right up here to hit both of them. It's really, really important that if you play Magnus, you really kind of learn the width of the stun, so that you can hit things like poking up next to somebody and then stunning backwards into their team. There were a lot of opportunities. I almost never, especially in a team fight, try to stun only one person with a magma stun. Now, when it's at like level 1, you don't have much choice. It goes like 3 inches, right? But especially when you start getting to level 3, level 4 of the stun, you have to be finding these angles to always be hitting multiple people. It just makes it so much more efficient. And oh, not the big. Let's just watch this juke in slow motion. Oh, oh, oh. But yeah, I still like the stun. I kind of wish Corrupt Disciple would maybe come stayed with him, maybe punish the Chronos for that. Probably got a counter kill or something. It's all right. We'll give Corrupt Disciple a pass for killing his best friend. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. I'm gonna go crack my window open real quick. You guys can just here. I'll lock it on Magnus, and you can educate yourselves for like 5 seconds. Fuck. I attempted to lock it. It's not my fault. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but my computer has an extra feature in which it doubles as a radiator. It makes my room like 400 degrees. Corrupt Disciple is all about that stupid fucking conduit spell. It's so good. I don't want fucking Static Discharge. Fuck Static Discharge. Sometimes, if I'm going against like a Chrono Stampeder lane, I'm not even gonna go Electro Tide. I'm gonna level Corrupted Conduit first because I want to steal all their attack damage like that. It costs like no mana. Go Blood Chalice. He's gonna have mana in 1. Easy. I don't like Blood Chalice on Magnus. That's just another one of my little kind of quirky things about him. I prefer getting like an Iron Buckler and then just some stats and some regen. And then I go for Strider's Bottle. Now there are exceptions. There are lanes and there are team makeups and things where I just never want to bottle on Magnus. But it's so rare. I would say 90-95% of the time I'm getting a bottle on Mag just because it lets me do so many fun things. So that feels like it might be an unfortunate decision. Thankfully, Monkey King had really had nothing to punish him there. Well, just kidding. Turn on and do it again, Monkey King. Aww. I mean, no, we're cheering for Magnus. Yeah, fucking stay alive, man. Also, the problem is that I think Striders are so important on Mag to get as early as possible. Once you have those Striders, once you're like level 3, those are kind of the 2 conditions I think you need to be able to gank really effectively are Striders and level 3. That's it. Even just Red Boots. Red Boots are good. There's just something about Striders. You get so fucking good positioning on Magnus early. Let's go ahead and speed this back up. I think we're like at the point that I was supposed to skip to anyway. Right, which is like 10 or 15 or something. Yeah, so one thing to note, Magnus is just kind of chilling top, which is unfortunate. You really cannot die like at all early on Magnus. It's so painful, especially if you're not in a lane where you're like the star farmer. I hate this thing go mid right now, but without boots, you're just not effectively able to punish anybody. So he really just kind of wants to find a quiet corner right now and catch up on farm. So what I'm going to be doing, if I'm this Magnus, is I'll be doing things like I'm going to be killing the yellow camp. I'm going to try to find, let's see if there is one. Well, there's not. There's a lot of Minotaurs. But if there was something like the 4 little creeps right here, try to stack that and kill that as well. I'm always going to be looking for little opportunities to get my farm up just a hair, because I really want to get a couple of items that are going to let me build up to that portal key. Obviously, portal key is really core on Mag, but I don't like rushing to it. You know, I don't get like red boots and a mana pot and I'm rushing my portal key. You know, I get it in good time. I get it when I need it. I generally want to have it by level 11 is kind of my trigger point. Is I'm level 11. I want to have my portal key. I want to be able to hit those really big high damage ults and things like that. Sorry, I'm checking various threads and things like that as I'm doing this because I'm Grandpa's. Fuck is Mag? I found Mag. He's got his red boots now. He's gonna be a little bit better. What are we looking at in the gold department? We're sitting at about 50 gold, obviously, because we just picked up our boots. And so, like, who are the good gank targets right now on the Hellborn team? You know, Ra is level 8 now. It looks like he doesn't have his ultimate. I assume that's what the grayed out means on that ultimate. I don't know, because this one's weird. Because sometimes when you're playing, and he's on your team, it will be grayed out. Or no, it'll be green, but then you mouse it over and it's grayed out and it tells you how much longer it has. It's such a weird little thing. Not getting a rewind at all. And Chronos, that's... I guess he really wanted to do an extra 15 damage. On Curse of Ages. I'm just gonna keep drinking and then just start making fun of all the people in all of these games. That's my new project instead of being educational. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this back up. So the targets that we want to gank on the Hellborn team are things like the Voodoo Jester, maybe things like the Dampier. If we're able to help on a kill of something like Chronos, that would be really effective. So like ideally we would want him to blink into us and then we stun him. Ooh, really nice ultimate there. Here, let's slow this down and take a look at this ultimate. One of the things that separates, you know, good Magnus players from less than good Magnus players is being able to get off early ultimates. You know, before you have the ultimate, before you have really long, before you have the level 4 stun, things like that. And that's a really good example of just kind of hiding in the trees and then getting your ultimate off. Really important that you're doing things like that. Really get on Mag. Obviously, it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody dies. But if he had had mana for a stun or something like that at that point, that would have been really devastating ultimate. Really good to see that he's at least attempting to get it off. Nice try, man. I'm hoping that's not sarcastic, because it really was. If he had stun. So we do see that Ra is sitting, it's about 14 minutes in the game, he's sitting at about 340 GPM. I would say that's much closer than we saw in the last game to where you want to be. He did kind of get that core item. I don't really know why he has a hatchet on Ra, but that's okay. I guess I could imagine scenarios in which that'd be thing. Nice little stun there by Magnus. You know, he didn't overstun. He didn't try to do some fancy fucking stuns in the tree shit. Just made sure he got him off him as soon as he could. You know, good shit. But right now we're just kind of standing here. Obviously what he wants to do is he wants to prevent them from pushing and getting this tower because it's so low. But look how low Ra is. Look at how scary as fuck Monkey King is, I guess, actually. Ooh, that's... Ooh. At that point, you kind of just have to wait. Yeah. See, at least he knows. He knows what his mistakes are, and that's good. Really bad stun. But I probably would have just come down here and started farming this. Because if my team is not coming, I'm not going to be able to defend it against... I'm not going to be able to defend it against Monkey King and Ra. I just know that I'm not, and so I'm not even going to try. Why do you guys... Why do people keep inviting me to a group? Clearly I'm not joining your group right now. Oh, man. So we're TPing out again, which at this point I'm probably not even going to be using too many TPs because I really want to get my core. I should go D&D, but fuck that. Oh, so we did get a kill. That's good. I wasn't even paying attention. Let's try that again. Oh, no, just kidding. Cryptid Disciple died. That's really unfortunate. Oh, we got greedy when we went back in. Now we're going to die. So again, a lot of it comes down to on a hero like Magnus, you cannot die early. You can't. If you see like pro players that do like really amazing pro plays on Magnus, usually they're not early. Usually early is really standard things like good, solid, multiple target stuns, good jukes and things with early levels of Steam Bath, but nothing super, super aggressive just because you really can't afford those early deaths. And if that happens, like again, like I'm here in the jungle. I'm stacking shit like this. I'm stacking things like that. I'm using my stun. I don't get my volcanic touch. I don't need it. I'm willing to take the HP hit, but I have a bottle. I will be right back. Oh my god, I'm back. Did we miss like some monster plays here? Maybe we did. I really gotta learn to press my V key. Oh. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we going in? Yeah, we are. Oh my god. So that's a really good example of synergy, obviously, between the Magnus and the Zephyr. Now, hopefully, Magnus is sitting at about 1,200 gold. He's gonna spend that before he dies. Oh, wasn't able to get it off. He did get another kill though, so he ended up with some pretty decent gold. But at this point, this 1,300 gold is gonna be really, really valuable. Now he does already have his Strider, so he's probably gonna be working right for his portal key. So I guess didn't really have it to spend. Now, typically I'll get a power supply as well before I do anything like go for my portal key. I really like to have a really strong base on Magnus before I move on to portal key. So I usually have Striders, a bottle, and a power supply. No! And a power supply as well, and a couple TPs before I even worry about a portal key. Just because you really, really have to get good practicing at hiding in the trees. Hiding in the trees and getting your ult off. Why isn't this locking up to people? There we go. I was hitting the wrong hotkey, which is traditionally a bad idea. It's ice. That's what I need. You give me beta key, please. No, I don't think that's gonna happen, guy in chat. Let's go ahead and speed this up even more. We're so close to the portal key now that I want to see the portal key. If I were smart, I would have hidden. This little bit. Whoa! Oh, that's fun. Everything about this yellow bar I love. Oh, almost ulted some creeps. Every time I right click. Oh my god, Eric Chow. Oh my god. So the ultimate, a little bit unfortunate. Sometimes you're going to miss ults on Magnus. Even sometimes I miss ultimates on Magnus because you don't always know exactly where the enemy T is going to move, and you just have to kind of predict it, especially when you don't have a portal key. Do what you can do. See, like that. I like killing neutrals, especially when I have extra time, I have extra mana, things like that. And plus, he's about 50 gold away from his portal key, which is good. Now he did get the volcanic hammer, or whatever the fuck it's called. That one is volcanic hammer. Volcanic touch. It's fucking hammer. Why is it a touch if there's a hammer? I don't get it. I always get stats. I really like the extra stats on Magnus. I also really, really try because if you're not dying, you're able much more effectively to stay ahead in levels, right? And really get those extra stats. Really get that Yeah, they didn't give, just so you guys know, they didn't give extra beta keys to people that are already in the beta. They only give them to people that are new, which is weird. Like, I want friends so I can play with me too. Yeah, thanks, ballin'. You're ballin'. See how clever I am? Oh, that's a clusterfuck of a team fight. Alright, let's take a look at this. We're gonna analyze the shit out of this team fight. Alright, so let's start here. Right now we have a Kronos running the fuck away from a Zephyr. Zephyr, pretty tanky at this point. Level 16, got his level 3 ultimate. Looking to land it on some people. Maybe Kronos will ult his team and he can throw it on them. That would be rewarding. Kronos building a Thunderclaw after his Elder Parasite. Why not? We have Magnus with no ult up. Remember, we used it on Ra and bottom, which is probably a bad decision because you're not going to kill a Ra that has all this tankiness to him with your ultimate, not at level 11, right? Really, your ultimate is to focus on those kind of those squishy heroes. So even thing like Monkey King, squishy enough. Voodoo Jester, Dampier, heroes like that are really, really effective to hit your ultimate on. Things like Ra, not so much. And so it's not up this team fight. We also have a Soul Reaper coming up along the side. So she has quite a bit to go. If the team fight happens here, she has to walk all the way up here. We have Orange all the way on bottom. Now that's a big thing to note. Right now what the Legion team is doing is that they're pushing up into the enemy's jungle. They don't know where any of them are. The ones that they have vision on aren't very far away. And they only have 4 people. 3 people? 3 people. Scout is dead. Did Scout die up here? Yeah, Scout died up here. Is that how that works? What? So it's 3 against 5, guys. So we can kind of already tell what's going to happen. So Magnus tries and hopes them catch up by doing a stun, but it's just such a foregone conclusion at this point. Look at where the Legion team is. Nothing is going to change this team fight from being exactly what we know it's going to be. We have Monkey King coming in fast as fuck from the left. We have a Kronos right up here. Doesn't have mana for his ultimate, but he's about to have another leap up. And we have a Ra charging into the middle, and a fucking Dampier with spell shards. Now we all know, not both of us, there's more than 2 of us I think, how this is going to end. So Zephyr gets caught, they decide to go right on Zephyr, Soul Reaper gonna try to keep them alive. Magnus, a little bit of indecision, doesn't want to go back in, he doesn't have any spells up so he's just kind of hanging on the edges. A decent ultimate by Zephyr, but it's just, there's no way that it's ever going to be enough. Monkey King might actually kind of suicide die here a little bit. Yeah. There's the ultimate. There's no way that that team fight ends well for the Legion team. There's no amount of execution, of coordination, or anything that's going to make that happen any better. You just have to not be there. You have to not do that. If you don't know where they are, they're always right next to you. If I don't know where they are, if I'm standing right here, the enemy team is all right here. That's how you have to treat it. It's the only way. It's the only way for you to really go about it, in my opinion. And so that's a really good example of kind of a defining point for the Hellborn team, right? They just very convincingly got 3 essentially free kills. They're not actually free, you know, they slowed down their farming a little bit, they were low on health, maybe they're a little bit uncomfortable knowing that the other team will be in their jungle. I don't know. But in general, they paid very, very little for it, and they got those kills. And so that's going to be quite a setback for the Legion team. You know, morally, gold-wise, experience-wise, I'm sure the EXP per minute actually isn't as far off as I expected it to be. Ooh. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Early deaths, guys. Early deaths are huge. So, like, let's just say... Well, let's take a look at that. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, they they just fucking killed him his team back because they have so much shit. They have so much AoE and stuff. There's really not too much you can do. But even if, let's say Mag doesn't die for the rest of the game, right? And, the game's going on for a fair bit longer. But let's say Mag doesn't die for the rest of the game, and he gets 4 kills. He's still at 10, 8, and 4, which is actually really not that great. You see the Hellborn team is getting quite low. Really nice ultimate there. But they're so tanky at this point. Magnus is very much a hero that relies on staying ahead of their team. Right? You always want to be ahead. You don't necessarily have to be like way over leveled on them, but I want to be higher level than most of my team when I'm playing Magnus. There are times where I'm off steam mathing fucking creep waves just because I want to make sure that I'm staying ahead on levels, that I'm staying ahead so that I can control the fight, so that I can be that big presence in the team fight. I don't want to be a support that happens to put out a little bit of damage with my ultimate. I want to be the initiator. I want to be the ganker. I want to be the guy that's controlling the game on Magnus. You really cannot do that if you die early. If you get behind like that, it's just so fucking hard to catch back up. Most of the scout's not really farming that well. He's at 278 GPM. It's not really going to cut it. Zephyr, 324. It's not awful, but it's not great. And everybody in Legion has died quite a bit. There's only so much you can do to catch up from that. Probably look at the giant team fight that's going on. Yeah, so I think just in general, it really kind of comes down just to early deaths. Really things like momentum on Magnus are just so important. Oh, what? Whoa. Oh, okay. Turn out little numbers there. I wish that there were a way for these little dots up here not be so fucking tiny. It's really hard to tell what level things are when you're watching on a stream. I don't know what my quality is like. I switched my internet over, so I'm on my usual internet now. Oh, Zephyr. Ooh, beautiful mag ult, but again, it doesn't do anything at this point. The positioning is really good on it. The timing was really good on it. Everything was fine about that mag ult. It just doesn't do enough. It just does not do enough. We see Raz at 431 GPM. Not too bad. He did go Steam Boots though, which is awful. That's probably the reason why it's only 320 instead of like 550. Raz crazy, guys. I don't know if you knew this. I think after this game, I'm probably going to take a little bit of break. I might play a game or two, so I don't have to talk as much, and then, I don't know.